Hello, my friends. Welcome back. It is just about a brand new year. So it is time for my first in a series of the best of 2022. And for as much as I'm always talking about sunscreen and preaching the benefits of sunscreen, I thought that I would start with that. You know, sunscreen is no joke. Not only does it prevent the obvious sunscreen, it also stops with premature aging of your skin. And probably the very most important thing is it can help in the prevention of skin cancer, which is absolutely no joke. You need to wear your sunscreen every day, whether or not you're going to be in direct sunlight or not, and you need to reapply often. So let's get it underway with the best product for me of 2022, which this has been my favorite for quite some time. And the very number one slot has got to go to the Colorscience Unforgettable Face Shield Glow, and this is a 50 SPF. This is a 100% mineral SPF. It is effective for up to 40 minutes. It is water and sweat resistant for 40 minutes, which means you need to reapply at about 30 or 35 minutes if you are out and actively sweating. If you're jogging outside or exercising, maybe you're playing tennis, you're going to want to reapply. This is just used on the face and the neck and the décolleté. And I'm going to show it to you. The one that I have, which is the Glow, I'm going to show it to you. It's actually tinted, and the Glow is exactly that. I don't know if you can get that with this. It actually has a little bit of a, I wouldn't say exactly a shimmer, but it makes you look like you have a little bit of a tan going on. The tint makes you look like you have some makeup going, you have a little bit of color, but the Glow makes you look like you've got a little bit of that sun-kissed, dewy look going on. It is a lovely product. You can see how super thin it is. It blends so smoothly into the skin on top of your skincare products. It doesn't smudge off onto your clothes, and it is absolutely in my number one spot. And what I like to do with this is I apply this to my face. Now, if I have a day where I am going, say I'm going to be out on the golf course, or I'm going to go for a walk with the dog, or I'm just going to be outside, what I will do is I will apply this, and then what I do is I go in, I let that dry for a minute, and I go in on top with the Colorscience Unforgettable Broad Spectrum 50 brush on sunscreen. And what this is you open it up like this. By the way, this is the number 2 spot. It's a brush like this. You give it a quick whack, and you can see that this is the powdered sunscreen in here. So what I do is I give it a quick whack on the back of my hand, and after this liquid glow has dried down, I go over the top of it like I would a setting powder, and I've got, I feel, double protection. I've got a mineral and a actual physical barrier for the sun's rays, and I feel like I have a little bit of makeup on. It takes down the glow a little bit for me, which I do like, and I keep this stuff in my purse at all times, and anytime I jump back in my car, I hurry up and give myself a quick dusting of this, and it's so portable. You don't have to worry about it spilling all over your purse because you have to give it a whack to get the powder out. Love it, love it, love it. It kind of fights for the number one position because the two of these for me go hand in hand. But if I'm in the pool, you know, I'll put this on before I go in, and then at 30 minutes, you know, I keep this in my cooler. I just go ahead and throw a little bit back on, and I don't go in with the powder unless I hop back out of the pool. But these are like number 1 and number 2, but they're kind of a combo, so they're kind of both number 1, if that makes any sense. Okay, the number 2 spot goes to PCA, which is a brand that I love. You cannot buy this in your local store. You have to get this from a med spa or get this online from a dealer who's licensed to carry the PCA brand products. PCA does a lot of chemical peels at your med spa, and I love their skincare products, and particularly their sunscreen, and here's why. They have the sheer tint triple complex broad spectrum SPF 30 under eye SPF, and I love this for so many reasons. Because first of all, as you know, the skin underneath of our eyes is so super delicate that I like to apply a very unique and very on its own freestanding type sunscreen product. I also use my Nero laser sometimes twice a day, usually once a day, but I will hit it twice a day as I'm almost to the maintenance point. So I like to really keep that skin extra protected, because I know when I'm using my Nero laser that I am creating new collagen and that skin is overturning its cells. So I want to really protect that skin from the sun more than I would on a normal basis. You should always be protecting. Take your sunscreen right up underneath your eyes. Don't rub, always pat. But this is a wonderful additional SPF product. And if you're getting any kind of microneedling done, or if you've had is it the Halo laser or is it the Morpheus that goes up underneath your eyes? I'm not quite sure because I haven't had it yet. Don't think I won't be looking into that. you really want to protect the underneath your eye area. And I even put this up on my eyelids if I'm not wearing an eyeshadow. Like I said, if I'm out at the pool, or if I'm on the golf course, walking the dog, or if I'm just sitting out on the back porch where I know that the rays are bouncing off each other, I'll just go ahead and whip this right onto my eyelid, and it plays nice with my eyeshadow. You may get a little more rub off with your eyeshadow when you're using this, but I think the benefits outweigh the risks. So that is the PCA. In addition to the PCA under eye SPF protective tint, wait, let me show you that real quick. This is also a tinted product, which is great. I mean, now I don't think it's going to replace your concealer if you've got a lot of brown marks underneath your eyes, but it does do a little bit for covering up. Can you see that? Covering up some discoloration under your eyes. So love that. What's not to love? I mean, it's got great color. It's got SPF. Like I said, it's an SPF 30, and it's designed to use on the delicate skin right underneath your eyes. And like I said, I go ahead and put it on my eyelids. I don't sweat a lot when I'm out in the pool or whatever, so I don't have to worry about it running into my eyes. And even if it did, I think I just sweat my eyes off because I am a maniac for sunscreen, and you need to be too. Be diligent. You'll thank me later. The next product up is going to be also from PCA, and this is the Sheer Tint Broad Spectrum SPF of 45. Now, I like this because this is water resistant for up to 80 minutes. This is also tinted. Now, it comes in a little pump like that. I'm running out of hand space. Let me show you this right here. And this is the shade that I have it in. This is also very light. It looks a little bit darker than the Colorscience, but the Colorscience has glow to it. And I don't think you can see that on here. You would probably have to see that on my face to understand that. But when you're out in the sun, you kind of want to look a little bit glowy and goldish anyways. No, probably not gold. Tan, I guess, is what you want to look. So it's wonderful for that. You can take this right down your neck, on your décolleté, even the tops of your shoulders if you so choose to, because it does give you that nice color. Now, I use this all the time underneath of my makeup. I will do all of my skincare if my skincare doesn't already contain an SPF, or if it doesn't contain enough SPF. I don't like to rely on a lot of skincare that has SPF in it. I mean, I will use those, but I prefer to use a standalone SPF all the time, every time, because I don't want to take any chances. It's just not worth getting big brown marks on your skin that you have to have lasered off, or they just make you look a lot older. And of course, sun cancer, or skin cancer, I always call it sun cancer. Skin cancer, we don't want that. So that's going to be in like the number 2-ish level for 2022. I love that. And these are both the PCA. This PCA, though, I use with every sunscreen that I use. The next SPF product that I love. Now, this is kind of like well, it's the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer with SPF 30. It's a broad spectrum sunscreen, if you can see right here. What I love about this is you can use this as a standalone tinted moisturizer. You could use this as a standalone SPF because it's got an SPF of 30 in it. And I am definitely on a skin. We're gonna have to switch to this hand. I don't know why I didn't think about that in the first place. This product is super, super lovely. This is pricey, not gonna lie. But Laura Mercier has lovely, lovely skincare products if you haven't tried. They've got a wonderful setting powder. Their translucent powder is really nice. But this is the tinted moisturizer with the SPF of 30. I absolutely love this product because this plays so well with my other powders and things. And a lot of times I will just throw a coat of foundation on over the top of this that coincides. A lot of them coordinate with this shade already because this is kind of like my skin in a bottle. The shade, this is, I wear a 2W1 Natural, and this is what it looks like. Again, this is one of my favorites, you know, for my face, neck, and décolleté. Now, what I use for my body, it varies. I'm not quite as picky on this as I would be. Another one that I have here that I want to talk about that I don't have here, actually, I must have forgot to bring it to me, but now we're talking about the sunscreens that you use all over your body. I'm not as picky with those as I am about the ones that I put on my face for obvious reasons, although the SPF number does matter to me. And I use a lot of Hawaiian Tropic, broad spectrum, SPF 30. This is the weightless. I try not to get the spray only because you can miss a lot of spots with the spray. So a lot of times I will go in with the Hawaiian Tropics. This is the Ultra Radiance Reef Friendly sunscreen. That's very important because I'm sure you're aware that there were a lot of sunscreen products that were harming our reefs. So this is Reef Friendly, which is good. This is also recommended by the Skincare Institute or Skincare Foundation of America. It's oil-free, and this is water resistant for 80 minutes. And you can use this all over your body. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll go all over my body with this, let it dry a little bit, Then I'll give myself an extra little spritz of this on top in the hot spots, like the tops of the shoulders and the back of your neck that are really tender areas. This is for your all over body. I also really like the Neutrogena, I think it's called Neutrogena Face Shield. It's an SPF of 30, but what that thing does, that particular product, it can leave a little bit of a white residue behind. I used up all of mine for the year because if I'm going to be out in an especially long time, a lot of times I will start with a coat of that, and it does leave a little bit of a white tint on your skin, which I don't really worry about that too much. I don't worry about vanity when it comes to things like that. It's more about protecting your skin, and that's good. Men especially need to be super diligent with applying a product like that. I believe it's got zinc oxide in it, to the tops of their ears and to the back of their neck. That's where men are most likely to get skin cancers, because this is where the sun really hits them, because they of course have less hair over their ears than women do, and of course the back of their neck. And if they are balding, take the sunscreen, pour it in your hand like this, and just massage it into your scalp, because you can get skin cancer in your scalp when your hair starts to thin, and that's important. Ladies, a lot of ladies, our hair starts to thin, and you need to do the same thing as well. So that's pretty much, if you're going to be out all day or at the beach, you want to make sure you do that. But these are the two that I use all over my body. Now, there was one clear failure this year. It was a complete fail, and it is the Tula skincare. It's the Probiotics and Superfoods Protect and Glow Daily Sunscreen Gel, broad spectrum SPF of 30, UVA and UVB protection. This stuff was awful, absolutely awful, not just for myself, but anybody in my family who used it. And I know that Tula has a reputation, or their mantra is that they have good skin loving ingredients in all of their products, yada yada. I don't know what it is, but let me just show you. It was, look, it comes out like yellow-ish and glowy, and it is, okay, you see how it's spreading in like that, but what you can't see is how slippery that is. Where I'm from, we call it slippy, if you're from Pittsburgh, but for the rest of the world, we call it slippery. It was just gross. Any of us who put it on, like, you just felt like your face was full of sweat. And if it did stay on and you didn't have the urge to wipe it off before you went out, you felt like you were sweating like underneath of it, and the sweat, it was just, I don't know, I can't even explain it. You felt slippery, you felt like dirt was sticking to you, and didn't really have a smell. It was just the slime factor, and it had a little bit of a glow to it, which I think was a really good attempt on their part to give you like a little bit of a glow to your skin. But I think they, unfortunately, Tula has a lot of really good products out there, and I think they definitely, unfortunately, missed the mark on this. I realize that they are a clean product, but yeah, they totally missed the mark as far as we are concerned on the Tula. I'm so glad I did this video so I can throw this out, because I'm certainly not keeping it. One last thing before we close up here is always check the expiration dates on your SPF. They do expire. Don't think it's okay to use expired sunscreen. It's not. It can become less effective or completely ineffective, and it leaves you at risk for skin cancer and sustaining some damage from the harmful rays of the sun if it has expired. So please throw it away and get yourself a fresh bottle of sunscreen each season. You won't regret it. So that are the end of my favorites and fails for sunscreens for the end of the year of 2022. Stay tuned. I will be doing some other favorites here before the end of 2022. Bye-bye.